Yo, what's up, YouTube? And since I'm a vinyl collector, I thought today I would make a video on albums that need a vinyl release. Now, these albums are accounting for official vinyl release. I'm not counting bootlegs or anything, but there's a lot of albums I could have chose. I have so many damn albums here, but I just grabbed a few, and I figured that this is enough. There's like 14 or 15 here, but there's so many from like that dead vinyl era, the 90s mostly and early 2000s. So anyway, let's get started. Starting off by format, we'll do cassettes. I have first one up. This was a hit record, actually, surprisingly. RTZ, Return to Zero. This was Brad Delp, his band with Barry Goudreau, after Boston and after Orion the Hunter. They released, I think, 2 albums. This was the debut from 92, I believe it was, 91 or 92. I'm not sure, it's one or the other. And Face the Music was the single they released first, but the big hit was a top 30 hit. I think it was Until Your Love Comes Back Around. It has like a piano ballad. It's a really good song. That was a hit. And there was another song on here. I forget which one it is. Maybe it's Face the Music or Rain Down on Me. I don't remember, but there was another one that was in the 50s. So it was a pretty popular album despite being released in the grunge era. So it definitely needs a vinyl release. It's never had one that I know of. I mean, I didn't check all these albums, but I'm pretty sure all of these don't have one. Next up, I talked about this one before, and I'm just going to keep it short. This is the cassette release, and that's Waiting for the Punchline by Extreme. I feel it's underrated. I've featured it on my high on my Extreme ranking recently, and underrated albums. So it's definitely a very 90s record, but Hip Today was the single, but there's a lot of other songs on here. There Is No God, No Respect, Unconditionally, Evil Angelus. It's a solid record. A lot of people need to give it a second or third listen to. Next up, Killer Dwarfs. Sorry for the glare. I always have this damn glare problem with sunlight. Method to the Madness. This is from 92, I believe. And this album was never put on vinyl, and it was like their last hurrah until they came back with Start at One like 10 years ago or something. I forget what year it was. That's a great record. This one is okay. It has some pretty damn good songs on it. Hard Lock Town, the opener, was a single. It's really good. Drifting Back, a ballad, another good one. It's been forever since I've listened to this, so I have to give it another listen. Doesn't Matter from maybe their most popular song. One of them from Dirty Weapons is on this for some reason. The title track, Goodbye to Yesterday. It's a pretty good record. I mean, it's not the best album ever, but it definitely needs a vinyl release. The rest of them, I'm not sure if, well, maybe Start at One. I think Start at One doesn't have a vinyl release either, their last one. So it might, though, because it was like during the current vinyl comeback, so who knows. And next up, this one is a big one, and I'm surprised it's never been released. This one and the next 2 after without Paul Gilbert, but with Richie Kotzen playing in the background, Mr. Big, their 4th album from 1996, Hey Man. And it was the reason why I'm shocked this wasn't released is because, well, maybe not originally, but at least now, because Mr. Big, every album besides the last one was released or was top 10, and this was their only #1 album in Japan. They're huge in Japan. Mr. Big was huge in Japan, and this album hit #1. So for that alone, and being Japan such a big thing for vinyl and physical media and video games and anything, I'm surprised they haven't made a vinyl release, because maybe it's because it's a big record company. I think it's like was it Warner Brothers, or let's see, it's a big company, Atlantic Records. So they probably have like they feel it wouldn't work because it's not a big name release, but maybe if a smaller company agreed to put it out as the first time on vinyl, it'll finally get on vinyl. Actual Size, I love that record. A lot of people don't. Needs a vinyl release. Get Over It, also with Richie Kotzen from 2000, needs a vinyl release. But I put this one because it has the original band members and it was the last with Paul Gilbert till What If in I think like 2011. And yeah, Trapped in Toyland, Take Cover, one of their most popular songs. Great drumming by Pat Torpey, rest in peace. Just a good album all around. Is That What It Takes? Going Where the Wind Blows, they made a video for that. It's a ballad. So those are my cassette albums that I grabbed that I think should be on vinyl. Starting up, here's the CDs that I just grabbed in no particular order. Starting off with maybe the least favorite Queensryche record. Not for me, I kind of like it more than most people. And that's Q2K. After the heartbeat of the band, basically, Chris DeGarmo left, they made this record, and it failed to live up to expectations. I get it. It's not great, but Sacred Ground, One Life, When the Rain Comes is really good. It's very underrated. Liquid Sky is another good one. Yeah, it came out I think like 2000 or 99 or 2000. 99, and it didn't get good reviews, but it's not on vinyl. It's I don't think Here and the Now Frontier is on vinyl either, and that album polarized fans as well because it was more of a stripped down version of Queensryche. Here's one I think would be good on vinyl just for the cover alone, and for some reason 1997 third album, Jackal, Cut the Crap. Look at that cover, the world with a shitty diaper. I think that's enough alone to release a bigger version of it, I think. And yeah, it's Jackal's third album, and I saw Martin Popoff on that Canadian journalist talk about undisputed hair metal records that he loves, and this is his favorite Jackal album and one of his favorites of all things. I mean, it's not that great, but I kind of like it. I mean, you have Dumbass Country Boy, the one with Brian Johnson, AC/DC, which is Locked and Loaded, one of the best songs. Misery Loves Company, a great one. The title track with the chainsaw. So Push Pull's really good at a closer. Needs a vinyl release. I don't think it'll ever happen. Here's one that I picked up because I was originally a fan of the original band, Andy Dearest of Helloween. Before he was in Helloween, he was in a band called Pink Cream 69, which is the dumbest name ever. This is their 1999 album, I believe, Electrify, with the alternate cover with a band on it. David Redman is the singer on this album, not Dearest, because he was with Helloween, still is with Helloween. And I just find it's a really great, like, hard rock record. It's kind of like power metal. It's kind of like just a traditional heavy metal record, but it's more like a melodic power metal type, like Helloween kind of, sort of. Shame, the opener is really good. Stranger in Time, Break the Silence, Electrified, Burn Your Soul, Gone Again, good ballad to end the record. I usually don't like ballads to end records, but it fits with this album, so check out that. I also have, let's see, what was it, Endangered Species from I think 2001. I don't think that's on vinyl. A bunch of their albums after Dearest left was all CD only, I believe. I'm not completely sure because I'm not a big Pink Cream 69 fan. I like their first three, and I like that one. So here's one because I saw he has a new album out today, and you know, big AOR singer and 80s movie soundtrack, and just a general 80s singer that people love today still, Stan Bush. This is his first solo album, I believe, after Barrage, first or second, and it's my favorite one he did, and that's Every Beat of My Heart. This definitely needs a vinyl release. The new album that came out today, I think is only on CD too, but he posted about something about wanting to get a vinyl release. I keep commenting, he's like, you should put out your original solo albums on vinyl, but we'll see if it ever happens. Because both the Barrage albums were vinyl. That was it. Straight to the Top, Can't Hide Love, Don't Get Better Than This. That's a cool AOR song, probably my favorite. Never Ending Love, Could This Be Love? You see where I'm going. It's very Survivor-ish and, you know, AOR power ballads. So it's a great album, and the title track's really good, so it needs a vinyl release. I'm trying to go as quick as I can. I have so many here. Next up, I talked about this album a few months back. Definitely needs a vinyl release. I don't think we'll ever get it because the band pretty much has forgotten about it. And that's Crack a Smile and More, 1996, I believe, from Poison, or no, 2000. Damn, I think the original one was like 2000 or 96 or 97, but it says 2000. But it could have been that late, but I'm pretty sure it was recorded earlier. That's the one with Lou Saraceno. it has peaks and valleys. It's not a great record, but it's a pretty solid record compared to what Poison would put out with Holly Weird. Some people like Holly Weird. I didn't like it, but I like Crack a Smile. Best Thing You Ever Had is a decent opener. It's not too bad. Shut Up and Make Love, the same thing. Kind of cheesy, but cover of the Rolling Stone, cheesy ass cover, not very good. But Be the One, Sexual Thing, Lay Your Body Down. I think those were all released on Poison's Greatest Hits record. That's the one from '96 I'm thinking of, and that's why I thought this album came out in '96 because those songs were on it. I'm pretty sure the original version was '96, but those are all cool songs, especially those last three. And yeah, it's worth it for that alone. So I think it should just get a vinyl release because Blue Saraceno is a lot different than Poison and Richie Kotzen. He's more closer oriented to Richie Kotzen because Richie's very like a blues rock guitar god, and Blues Saraceno, no pun intended, blues is a very good bluesy hard rock guitar player. So that's Crack a Smile. Here's one that pisses people off, and I'm probably the only one to put it in my top 10 Megadeth albums. And it might slip out of the top 10 if the final album is going to be any good, which it probably will be, but who knows. The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead was pretty fucking awesome, man. As was Dystopia. So this probably will fall out of my top 10 after the final album is released, but I still enjoyed it. That's risk. No one likes this album, apparently, but I did. It's the only one not issued on vinyl, and I don't think it ever will because the band hates it, the fans hate it. They don't play any songs from it since the release, pretty much. '99, I think, was the last year they played. In 2000, actually it's 2000 when I saw them with Motley Crue, they played Breadline. So 2000 was the last year they played songs from this. But I do like Prince of Darkness. It's one of their most underrated songs, in my opinion. It's really good. Crush 'Em's cheesy as shit, just like the Universal Soldier of the Return movie, but I kind of like it because it's based on hockey, and I love hockey. So Breadline, I like it, even though it's a modern rock type song, slower song. But Wanderlust is really good. Ecstasy's cool. So I don't know. People say this is the worst Megadeth album, but I don't think it is. I would say Super Collider's way worse. 13 is worse. Yeah, so there's a few at least that I think's worse than that. So needs a vinyl release. Never got one. Probably never will. If they ever make one, I kind of want the one with the other cover with the cat looking through the hole with the, that'd be cool, like the mouse hole. Next up, a band that kind of went under the radar due to grunge. It was like a bluesy hard rock hair metal band, Kelly Keeling and Baton Rouge. This is their second album. The first album was finally, I think it might have been originally released on vinyl, I can't remember, but they finally reissued it last year. But this album is still not on vinyl, the second album, and it's pretty good. Slave to the Rhythm, Tokyo Time, Desperate, yes, that's the same one as Babylon AD from Nothing Sacred. They're both good. Not sure which one I like better. The Price of Love is another cool song. I think that was a single, if I remember right. Tear Down the Walls, it's a bluesy hard rock album, in the vein of like Cinderella or Great White. But it's often forgotten, so definitely needs a vinyl release. I think people would like that one. Here's one I can't ever get enough about, needs a vinyl release. And unfortunately, Vinyl of the Living Dead or Night of the Living Vinyl Dead, whatever the fuck that, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's Night of the Vinyl Dead, like Night of the Living Dead. They release a lot of these under often forgotten in vinyl pressings albums that never had vinyl pressings. Like a lot of the later Overkill they're doing, like Necroshine just came out, and the one with the skull, Immortalis, which is my least favorite probably. They put that on vinyl. And they just put out Rock Your Face Off. So I'm like, what the fuck? It's coming out, or it's coming out soon. I just saw a post. But the problem with that company, I don't know anything about them. I mean, I know about them, but I go on their website. You can't fucking order anything. It says, here's a link to order it, and it's a Facebook page for North American. So I'm pretty sure it's a European only, for the most part, vinyl company, and you can't ever get any of the damn records. Like, all the ones I see on Discogs from them are expensive because they're hard to find. I don't know where I'm going to ever find any of these from them. I guess if you're in Europe, you might be able to get them easier, pretty sure. But anyway, back to it. They need to put this one out. Hopefully it's somebody else. That way I can get it. And get an easier copy. This is one of my favorite Kicks albums. It's one of my favorite 90s grunge era hard rock albums. They never changed their style. Kicks, you know, Ball Baby, Fireballs, like sort of AC/DC pretty much to the T. 911, cool single. Book to Hypnotize, and the second side is just very different. You know, it has the traditional Kicks, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, AC/DC style type hard rock. But then you have like funky She Loves Me Not, I'm Bombed, and like piano If You Run Around ballad. But I like a show business. I always did. I think it's very underrated. It very much needs a vinyl release. Now with Rock Your Face Off, finally, which surprisingly never got a release because 2014, it was huge. You know, vinyl was huge then too. So next up, another one of my favorites that a lot of people have mixed feelings on from the grunge era. Never on vinyl, needs to be on vinyl. Vicious Circle, LA Guns from 1994. It has some alternative stuff on here, but it also has classic LA Guns. It's like a mix from both, like classic LA Guns era with 90s direction. So Face Down, great opener. Long Time Dead, that was a single. Killing Machine's a good one. Crystal Eyes was also on Hollywood Vampires, but apparently the American version didn't have it. It was a bonus track only on European vinyl and releases and Japanese releases. So if you had the American version, that's why they just added it to this. Can't complain, it's a great song. Nothing Better to Do, I think that's Kelly Nichols, or is that, I believe that's who was singing that. That's a cool song. It's kind of alternative hard rock 90s song. Who's in Control, Let 'Em Roll, classic LA Gun style. Why Ain't I Bleeding? That's a 90s, more of a 90s alternative hard rock song. I love it. It's one of my favorite LA Gun songs. And Kiss of Death, a ballad, the end of it. It's you know, kind of like over the edge, but a little bit slower. So great album. I like the cover too. That's a cool cover. Needs a vinyl release. Man in the Moon's coming out finally on vinyl next month. Now we need Vicious Circle. I think that would be the final. Well, maybe like Tales from the Strip. I don't know if that's on vinyl, but other than that, I think everyone else has a vinyl release. And last up, before I get into the 4 extra ones I want to talk about, Sleazebees 1992 Power Tool album, their 3rd album. And this one came out in 92, but surprisingly there was no vinyl release, especially in the Netherlands, where there's a big vinyl pressing plant, because they're Dutch. And I think it's possibly their best record. I mean, a lot of people say Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed, you know, with Stranger Than Paradise, but I don't know. This one's pretty damn good too. Raise a Little Hell, the ballad I Don't Want to Be Without, I Don't Want to Live Without You. I think that's what the hell is it called? There's only one fucking word on the back of this cover. There we go. I Don't Want to Live Without You. That's right. That's a good one. Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. Bring Out the Rebel. Pray for a Miracle. The end of the album. This is a more solid album, I think, overall than Screwed, Blued, and Tattooed and their debut with the first singer they had. It just, you know, 1992 never stood a chance. It definitely deserves a vinyl release. So I want to talk about these 4 real quick as just like sort of honorable mentions. First up, I'm going to pick an album. The only one they haven't put out on vinyl. It's a live album, but I think it's a really good live album. And I think all their albums are now on vinyl, so studio albums. So I thought I'll put this one out here on the list. 2002 Lillian Axe Live, with the original singer Ron Taylor from, you know, the classic albums like, you know, Poetic Justice and Love and War. This is a really good album. It sounds really good, and it's the last thing Ron Taylor really did with the band. And it has all their hits, you know, All's Fair in Love and War, Innocence, Ghost of Winter, Fool's Paradise, Crucified. I mean, it's hit after hit, or I shouldn't say hit because there wasn't a big name band, but classic from fans, one after another, fan favorites. So that should be on vinyl. It's not. These next 3 are different. You know, this one is, I don't know what the hell the story is with this. The 1999 Rat album. On Discogs, they said there's a Japan-only release, but I can't find shit on it. I've never seen it for sale. And from all the, you know, research I've done, they say it's either a mistake, or if it was released, it was a bootleg and not original. I know they have the yellow bootleg version, which I'm not counting. Like I said, it's not an official release. So this one's like, I'm leaning toward it's not real, but until I see one, I have no clue. So I'm gonna say no. But I like this album. It's probably the worst next to Collage. That's my least favorite. But this one was without Robin. You know, he was having problems and AIDS and everything. But he died a couple years after this album, 3 years after. But it's still a good album. Like So Good, So Fine, Over the Edge, Tug of War, Live for Today, We Don't Belong. It's solid, even if it's not their best album. So definitely needs a proper vinyl release. Whether that Japanese release is legit, let me know in the comments if you know if it's legit or if you've seen one, because I've never seen one. If it is legit, that's got to be like the holy grail for me, because I've never fucking seen one ever. So, and I think everybody that's fans of this subgenre would agree that's like the holiest grail you can probably get. So, next one, there is an official South Korean release, and it's missing the song, the title, the lead off song. So I put it in under honorable mentions, and their new album just dropped. Sucks it's on Kivo Records because I can't hear it. I have to buy it first, but I'm definitely going to pick it up. And that's Babylon AD's Nothing Sacred, their second album from '92, I believe. And I talked about this in my Babylon AD ranking. This is my favorite Babylon AD record. It's probably not their best. Their debut is probably better, but I just always like this one. And the South Korean release is missing Take the Dog Off the Chain, which is one of the best songs on the album. It's not on there for some fucking reason. Probably due to time constraints. But you got Bad Blood, So Savage to the Heart, the best ballad by the band, and probably my favorite song by the band. I love that song. Psychedelic Sex Reaction, the band has posted about the story of the label, one of them that pushed that as the lead track single, and it ruined the band's chances of, you know, they didn't want to do it. They thought it was cheesy. They didn't want to even put it on the record. But I like the song. Is it a single-worthy song? Maybe like a third or fourth single, but it's not the best song on the album. But I kind of liked it. Dream Train has kind of like a acoustic, you know, type atmosphere to it. Pray for the Wicked, great song to end the record. So yes, it has a vinyl release, but it's never had one with the original track list because Take the Dog Off the Chain was taken off. No pun intended, or pun, whatever. And this one I was going to put in the list. It sucks. Yeah, it's not great. But I just looked it up right before I made this album or video, and apparently it was released last year. Go figure. Because it was the only album in their discography never to have a vinyl release. But now it has one, so I'll just show it real quick. And that's Shadow Life, easily. Well, I think I didn't have it last on my ranking, but it's probably the worst, although I don't like Hell to Pay much at all, so I'll put that last. But yeah, Puppet on a String, Cracks in the Ground, Sky Beneath My Feet. It's very grungy, but those are the first three songs I would say are the only ones maybe that are any decent. So, but I like to get that on vinyl eventually, just to have it on vinyl. But all the other ones like Eraseless Slate, Long Way Home, Hell to Pay, they're all on vinyl. So that's my list of albums that I think should be on vinyl. Let me know if you have any other ones to put in, or your opinions. I might make another list eventually, because like I said, could be almost unlimited number of albums that could be on vinyl. Do you have any of the favorites from these albums I shared, or any songs, any albums you like from these, any albums you hate from these? Let me know in the comments. As always, YouTube, keep rocking. Thanks for watching. I'll put a video here, and it's almost 25 minutes long already. Damn, I just keep going. So that's why I only grab so many albums. So as always, YouTube, peace, and see you later.